Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing. How's my audio? Let me just check my audio level. Testing, 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 testing. Okay, that's perfect. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Claudebot skills and everything having to do with Claudebot skills. So if you don't know what a Claudebot skill is, I like to think of it as a tool, right? It's a tool that you're essentially making available, making visible to Claudebot. So I'll give you an example. Claudebot, with the new updates, Claudebot has web search available, right? That's a skill it has. It has a web search skill so it can perform queries on the internet and get back results. Okay, so that's like live, real time results. That's a skill. I'll give you an example of another skill. Another skill is basically just giving it the ability to, let's say, giving it the ability to make transcripts, make audio transcripts, right? Audio transcription, which basically means you feed it an audio file, and then it performs transcription and it gives you the text, right? Speech to text, essentially. That is a skill, that is a tool that you are giving it that on its own it can't do. So the more skills you provide it, the more tools you give it, the more ability it has, and it's able to do different things with these skills, right? If Claudebot or Claude Code didn't have these skills, then at the end of the day, it would just be an LLM, right? It would just be text based. It wouldn't have the ability to perform any additional functionality besides just give text, right? But by giving it these skills, basically you're giving it the ability to call the skill in text form. Okay, so within the skill, you're saying this skill is used for this. So whenever you ask Claudebot or Claude Code for something that would use that skill, that's when Claudebot would automatically know to use it because of the description that you gave the skill. It goes, okay, Claudebot goes, you're asking me to do this, and I have a skill that does just that. So let me call this skill and perform its functionality in order to give you what you want, right? So here I have a YouTube timestamp. Okay, so I'm going to be creating the skill. I'm going to delete the skill because I was playing around with it, but I decided I'm going to do it live from scratch so you guys can see how it actually works. All right, so this skill is essentially you're going to be able to feed it a YouTube video, and it's going to give you a description and timestamps based on this YouTube video link. Okay, that's a skill. So then when I told Claudebot, hey Claudebot, create timestamps for this specific YouTube video link, and then all I have to do is give it the link, and then it says, okay, I have a skill that does exactly what he's asking me to do. So I'm going to use this skill. Okay, and this is located. I'll show you guys exactly where. This is going to be located in your home directory, and you're going to have to click Command Shift period, and this is going to show up. This is going to show all your hidden folders. Okay. And then once you take a look at this folder, we're going to open it. Let me close all this so we can see it from scratch. We're going to go down to our workspace. We're going to open our workspace, and we're going to go down to skills. And this folder is going to contain all the skills that OpenClaw, Claudebot, has the ability to use. Okay. As of right now, I only have two skills: my autoresponder, which is an iMessage autoresponder, which I do in my daily live streaming series, which is different from this. And then I have the one that we're going to create today. But for now, I'm going to be deleting this. So let me delete this so we can do it from scratch. Okay. All right. Now let's go to my, 1 second. I'm going to be talking to Claudebot from Telegram, specifically the online version of it. All right. So let's go ahead and move to that screen. Okay. Let me see. Am I doing this right? Why is this not showing up? Okay, that's not good. It's like, I don't know why my screen is not showing up. Okay, that should be good. All right, cool. Okay, so there's different ways of making or creating a Claudebot skill. And this is one of them, is that you can directly tell Claudebot to create the skill that you want it to use. And I'll be doing it this way, and then we will be opening the file directly in order to modify its functionality, okay? So as of right now, we're going to be creating a very, very basic working version. And I already have the code of the basic working version set. So I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to be telling Claudebot to create a basic working skill based on this very simple code that I have. So give me a second, let me get that. And then I'm going to be also walking you guys through the different APIs that we're going to be using. I just want to be careful not to accidentally expose that information. Let me just do an audio check. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Okay, now let's go ahead and get this code. Okay, so just to explain a little bit, basically, I know I explained it earlier, but I just want to clarify. The skill that I will be making is a timestamp generator, okay? And the input is going to be the YouTube video. It's going to be the YouTube video, okay? And the way this works is that you're going to feed it the YouTube video link, and based on that link, it's going to get the transcription, the video transcription, okay? And then based on that, it's going to be a timestamped video transcription. So it's going to have, let's say, from 0 to 10 seconds, I'm saying, hi, how are you? This is the intro to my video, whatever. So every single part is going to be timestamped. Every single part of that transcription is going to be timestamped. And this is going to facilitate us creating the timestamps, okay? And we're going to be using Gemini as well. We're going to be feeding the timestamped transcription to Gemini, asking it to create timestamps for a YouTube video description. And these are going to be SEO optimized YouTube timestamps. And I set some really good format requirements that it's going to have to do. For example, it's going to have to do 3 to 5 timestamps max for a video that's 10 minutes or under. Okay, so it's only going to have 3 to 5 timestamps. And I specified you can go over 5 timestamps if the video is longer than 10 minutes. All right. And I also made sure to add some SEO suffix keywords, which you don't have to worry about that. But basically, for example, I said put the primary keyword or a variation of it in the first timestamp. I also said include major product names as keywords naturally. Okay, so this is going to be the best thing you can do for SEO and keyword optimization. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the prompt aspect of it. But eventually, I will be uploading this to Claw Hub, which is basically just like the name implies, a hub to get all your skills from for Claudebot specifically. Now, keep in mind that skills are interchangeable. So let me explain what that means. So Claude Code has skills. Claudebot has skills. Other AI-based tools have skills that you can use, right? So just because this skill is only for Claudebot doesn't necessarily mean it's exclusive to Claudebot. You can also make it work for Claude Code, for example. Okay? I just want to be clear with that. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and now I'm going to feed it the code. I'm going to feed it the code and I'm gonna say, hold on. And I want to show you guys how I struggle while I'm doing this, right? Because part of prompt engineering isn't only getting the perfect prompt on the first try. Part of prompt engineering is it's an iterative process, meaning that you're gonna go 1 try, 2 tries, 3 tries before you get the quote unquote perfect prompt. Because again, there really is no perfect prompt. It's about trying something, seeing what's wrong, seeing how it was interpreted wrong by the LLM, and then fixing it with accordance to that error, right? That's how good prompt engineering works. And I also want to show you guys how I talked to Claudebot and the process behind getting it right, quote unquote. Okay. All right. So with that being said, let's feed. Sorry, I'm gonna start singing a little bit. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and feed our code to our Claudebot. I'm gonna say create a skill based on the code I will provide. Yeah, let's just start there. Okay, now I'm gonna copy and paste the code, and we're gonna have to do some cleaning up as we go along, but let's hope that's good enough for now. Let me just check my camera. Okay. All right, and this may take a while. Hold on. Actually, think I might have not. I think I might not have it running. 1 second. Let me make sure I have this running. Okay, so my mistake. Turns out I don't have OpenClaw running. So let me go ahead and get that running real quick. Just gotta look for my. Oh, what the heck happened here? Gotta look for my terminal. Can't find the prop. Oh, here it is. Okay. Found my terminal. Let me start the gateway. Okay. Now I've started the gateway, so let's go ahead and see what's gonna happen. So now it should start responding. Let me make sure I have my logs open. Okay, so now my OpenClaw is starting up. Just give it a little bit. Let me get my logs open while I do that. Okay, awesome. Looks like it's officially open. So now let's go ahead and, oh no, this is not good. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. I have to do something real quick. So let me go ahead and turn this off for 1 second. All right, so I forgot I made a change to my computer, so now I have to. Oh no. Okay, yeah. I accidentally broke my Claudebot, so I'm trying to figure that out right now. give me a moment to see what's going on. Okay, let me just quickly update my Claudebot because he's misbehaving right now, and I'm about to beat him if he doesn't start acting right. So let me just update my Claudebot real quick. Okay. But yeah, so the good thing about skills is that actually skills are everything. Skills is what give AI assistants like Claude Code, like Claudebot life, right? Without skills, it would just be a regular LLM. And I think skills is still something really underrated. And mostly the fact is that it's the fact that that skills haven't hit the mainstream yet. What did you say? I made a random word generator. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Give me a random word. But soon enough, these skills will start hitting the market. And once it does, the ability for Claudebot and Claude Code to do things is going to skyrocket. Like right now, the major companies like Microsoft, Google, they're just starting to catch up. Keep in mind, Claudebot has changed the game. Okay, I managed to update. So now let me go ahead and restart my OpenClaw gateway. Alrighty, please work. It says, see how I can make random text fast. No, I don't really see it. Can you do it again? Because I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Yeah, something is going on right now. Hold on a second. My OpenClaw is having issues, so I'm just restarting the gateway right now. But no, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Random text. Alright, I think I successfully stopped my gateway, so now I'm restarting my gateway as we speak, and hopefully this works on the first try. Okay, I figured that there was some anti-spam detection going on because I don't see any random text unless you're talking about the texts that I can see. But yeah, so I made an update to my Claudebot and it broke it, so I'm currently just trying to fix that. And let me show you guys. See if I can show you guys, because this is kind of annoying. This is annoying. But yeah, I'm interested to know if you guys have created any interesting skill. In my other videos, I made an iMessage autoresponder, which I think is still by far extremely underrated. And at least for me, my personal use cases, it's extremely useful. But a lot of you guys seem to not think that's the case. I don't know. I'm having an issue where I accidentally changed my username on my computer and now Claudebot is not recognizing it. So I don't know. I'm trying to fix this currently. Users. Let me delete this as well. Hold on a second. Let me just show my screen. Maybe we can debug it together. Okay, so I'm getting this error. Let me see how I can fix this real quick. Also, if a lot of you guys don't use DeepSeek, I would highly recommend it. I know a lot of people think it's garble, but it's pretty good because of its web search functionality. As the other LLMs such as OpenAI and Perplexity, you have limited amount of web search, but with DeepSeek, it's unlimited for free. So it's like can't really top that. Okay, give me 1 second so I can quickly try to debug this. This is not going as I expected. Whenever you're having trouble with Clawdbot, I would highly recommend looking up the documentation on GitHub, copying and pasting the copying and pasting the GitHub repository README and using that as part of your question when it comes to asking an LLM a question about Claudebot, I mean. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to diagnose what I broke because I seem to have broke something. Okay, give me a second. Let me try to fix this. Again, I just accidentally broke my Claudebot, so I'm currently in the middle of trying to fix it. So just bear with me as I attempt to fix it, and I'm not showing my screen for privacy reasons currently. So just bear with me as I try to fix this as soon as I can. But yeah. And I think that a lot of people don't know that Clawhub is a free hub for skills. Whenever I talk about it, it's always a surprise to people because I believe Claudebot is coming up with a lot of built-in skills, which is amazing. But you can also download community-made skills, which is even more amazing. Again, just bear with me here as I try to fix this. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a try now. We're gonna have to open up our Finder. And we're gonna have to check somewhere in here where the configuration is set. Let's go to credentials, no. Identity, maybe. Let's go ahead and try this. No, that's not it. Device auth. No, that's not it either. Let me just open up the folder itself and give it a look. Right now I'm in Visual Studio Code and I'm trying to look for something. Okay, I see it here. Okay, awesome. I see it right here. Yep. I see it right here. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna fix it now. Okay, so again, I think I can fix it now. I'm gonna restart my Claudebot. So I don't know how people normally run it, but I like to run it in my terminal. I like to run Claudebot in my terminal, and you can use the command OpenClaw gateway stop, and this stops Claudebot, and then you can also use open gateway dash verbose, and this starts up Claudebot in the terminal that you're starting it up. And verbose just means that you have logging, so it's very detailed logging. So whenever something goes wrong, you can just see it. Okay. All right, now let's go back to my Telegram and let's attempt to create this again. All right, let me give it again. Let me show you my screen. Okay, excellent. So now let's go ahead and tell it, let's give it the same prompt we gave it previously. So I said, create a skill based on the code I will provide. And here is the code provided. I'm going to copy and paste this, and hopefully it works. If not, we will diagnose the issue. Okay, excellent. It's not working. Let me try to fix this again then, because why is it doing that? I don't understand. That should be working now. Maybe. Hold on a second. Let me try this out real quick. So I'm running into an issue right now with Claudebot. I'm just trying to diagnose that real quick, and then I'm going to continue to show how to create the skill. Does anyone know how to use find and replace in a Visual Studio? Because I'm not too sure how to use that. Let me look it up. Find and replace in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so we do Control F. We're gonna do this. How do we do find and replace though? That's my question. Oh, there's a drop down. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. This should fix our issue we're getting now. So let's go ahead and try to create that skill once again. Okay, let me copy and paste the same script and hopefully it works this time. Oh wait, I have to restart. I have to restart my my OpenClaw. So let me go ahead and stop the gateway. I'm stopping the gateway. I'm gonna share my screen in a second. I'm just doing something right now and it's kind of broken. I'm just trying to fix this broken thing that I did on accident. What did I do? Why is this still broken? Okay, now it should be good. Okay, let me just quickly try again. And as soon as this works, I'll share my screen. Hopefully it works on this attempt. Where's my moment? Okay, it's currently loading. Claudebot is still trying to answer. And this thing is eating up tokens like crazy. Holy moly. My God, at this rate, it's gonna run up my wallet. Oh, this is my moment. I'm just waiting for it to respond. Okay, awesome. So now we can see here. Oh, whoa, what the heck is going on? Okay, cool. Awesome. Beautiful. So now we can see here that our Claudebot skill has been officially created, right? And all we did was we pretty much just prompted Claudebot itself to create the skill. I gave it the code and I just told it, hey, Claudebot, create this skill for me using this code, right? Let me show you guys right here. Okay, so we can see right here, create a skill based on the code I will provide, and I gave it the code to generate a timestamp generator, right? And here it even tells me how to use it, right? And we're going to be taking a look at the code in 1 second. We're going to be modifying it and improving it. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that in a second. But basically, it created the code. It created the skill for me based on the code I provided. And here it says how to use it. You can ask me to generate timestamps. And it even goes as far to give me an example of how to use the skill, right? So here we can see generate timestamps for YouTube. Oh man, this thing was going crazy with the tokens. You don't even want to know how many tokens it was using. I have the logs on the side and the amount of calls this thing is doing is disgusting, guys. So if you're using an expensive model, which I highly advise against, use free. I'm using free Gemini and I'm doing API key rotations. So it's staying free, but I'm hitting the rate limits so fast. So yeah, definitely don't use a paid one. But anyways, so here we can see that it's creating a script. That's essentially a skill is. It's just a script. And then it's creating the skill markdown, which is just documentation for the OpenClaw. And it tells it OpenClaw how to use it and when to use the skill. Right. And then there's a couple of APIs that I used. So I'm going to have to install that. But I'm not sure. I think Claudebot might automatically install that for us. So we're going to have to test that out. But just to give it a try, I'm going to be doing the the thing right now. I'm going to be testing the skill right now on one of my previous videos. So let me look for a video that's nice and easy, and we're going to be giving it a go. So just give me 1 second so we can see. Okay, I just want to pick a quick and easy video. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. And now let's just pick this video. So this is how it's going to work. We're just going to go here. We're going to click share, and we're going to do, actually, let's not do that way. Let's do, can we copy this? Let me see if this works. The way I set it up is that it has to be a specific formatting of URL. So let me see if this works for this, but we're going to tell Claudebot generate timestamps for this specific video. Okay, and this should work here. So this is one of my videos, and the way that it's going to create timestamps is that I use an API to get timestamped transcription. Okay, so don't get confused with timestamp transcription and timestamps, right? A timestamp transcription is just basically, let's say, from 0 to 10 seconds, I'm saying, hello, how are you guys, this and that. From the last videos from the last couple of minutes, like 5 minutes to 5 minute and 10 seconds, it's saying, okay, this is the closer. And then I'm feeding it to an LLM, and I'm asking it to give me the timestamps, right? And then here it is, it's generating the timestamps based on the video. Now, I'm also going to let's also add some functionality for the YouTube video description. So not only is it going to be timestamps, but now let's also add functionality to, so it can create a description for us. So it can just take care of all of that in one go, and we don't have to worry about doing it separately, because as of now, it's only doing timestamps. Okay, give me a second. So let me show you guys how you can access the skill from your Finder. Okay, so here's the Finder. Can you guys see that? Okay, there we go. So here's the Finder. You're gonna have to go to your home directory, right? And then once you're in the home directory, you're gonna go to the hidden folder, which is .openclaw. Okay, and to access it, at least in Mac, you're gonna hit Command-Shift period, and this is gonna make your hidden folders visible, right? Command-Shift period. We're gonna go down to OpenClaw, like I mentioned. We're gonna go to workspace. We're gonna go to our skills, and we can now see here we have a new skill, which is the one we just told Claudebot to add, and it's the YouTube timestamps skill. Okay, and now since we're gonna be modifying a little bit, where we can open up this skill, and I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do that in real time. So let's go ahead and open that. And this is super powerful, guys. Like, to be able to create your own skills, you can pretty much customize Claudebot to do anything and everything for you, right? Think of like an issue you're having. So for example, a skill that I'm going to be making in a future live stream is that I have these meetings at work, right? And I have them via Zoom or whatever I have. Black screen. It should be good now. Oh yeah, I have to share Visual Studio Code. Where is Visual Studio Code? Here it is. Let me make sure that's good. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, anyways, so I have an idea for a skill is that you can automatically upload your meetings to Claudebot, right? And then you can keep a memory of these meetings to giving it to Claudebot, and then it can automatically transcribe these meetings, and it's gonna know what happened in the meeting. So it's it's in real time remembering, right? While it's happening, it has context of your life pretty much, right? And this is you can automate all of this. You don't even have to worry about okay, setting up the meeting, transcribing it. No, you can use an API or some way where as soon as the meeting ends, the meeting is transcribed and then fed to Claudebot. You can automate all of that, which is the beautiful part of it all. But okay, so here's the code, and now I'm gonna be adding the functionality because as of right now, it just is generating timestamps, right? You feed it a video, a YouTube video link, and we have timestamps. But now I want to fully automate this so it can also have YouTube description, um, SEO YouTube description. All right. So let's go ahead and add some of that, my brother. All right. So I'm going to be using, let's see. So this is the prompt I have thus far, right? And these are some important things I've personally experimented with and I feel are very important for SEO in terms of timestamps. So if there's anything you take away from this video, at least take away these SEO little tips and tricks that I have found out on my own. So for example, the timestamps have these keywords, right? These are like some common keywords that are in a lot of videos. A lot of people look up these type of keywords. Things like step by step, tutorial, overview, free is a big one, best is a big one, how to, and this just helps the algorithm for your videos. So this is just for my personal use case, which is content creation, and this will make my life easier. Another major component for generating timestamps with using this prompt is the fact that it's going to be using major product names, right? A lot of the times when people are looking stuff up, they're looking it up by the major name, by the biggest keyword, right? And I gave this example because I recently made a video on this. And another thing I found is that it's very important to do 3 to 5 timestamps per 10-minute video, right? Once it hits over 10 minutes, then you can go over 5 timestamps and things like this. I also added some of the formatting requirements, which is essential for for YouTube to be able to recognize that it's a timestamp. Okay. All right. Now let's work on modifying this prompt so we can also include a video description that is SEO optimized. Okay. So let me go ahead and do that. Right now, I'm in Claude and I'm going to see if I can help me get, help me modify my prompt to also give me a video description. And then from here, we're going to be fully automating the whole thing because YouTube has an API itself. I believe you can post a video description directly from the API. So I won't even be manually inputting any video description anymore. I'll just be having Claudebot automate all of that. And I'm going to be showing you guys this in real time so you guys can see and learn along with me. Okay, so as of right now, I'm just using AI to help me incorporate video description into my prompt. So for those of you who are just tuning in, right now this prompt is just generating timestamps for a YouTube video. But I also wanted to fully automate the video description aspect of content creation specifically for YouTube. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm saying I want you to modify this code to fully to add to my prompt the functionality of creating a SEO YouTube video description based on similar principles my current prompt has. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys what it's saying now. Okay, let me go ahead and open that real quick so you guys can see. Sorry, I just gotta switch screens. Okay, here we go. So now we have seen this. API key, Gemini key. All right, so now we have modified our current prompt to also include. One second, let's give it a looky here. Okay, so now we have, let me see this. Okay, so here we have create SEO optimized YouTube timestamps for this transcript. And now we have also added the functionality to create an SEO optimized YouTube video description from the transcription following these best practices, which I told it to make similar to my timestamp best practices. Okay. What the heck? Let's not do that. All right. So now let's go ahead and do this. We're going to copy this. We're going to go back. We're going to go back to where our skill is in Visual Studio Code. Let me open this back up. Let me switch screens. Oh, okay. I already switched screen for me. Cool. Okay. Now we're here and we're going to copy and paste this. Now, again, this isn't perfect, so hopefully this works. Actually, let's not even do it that way because this has some additional things that I don't really like. So let's go back to our Clawdbot. And let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can tell Clawdbot to modify our current skill. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go here. Let's tell Clawdbot, I want you to modify the skill I have for generating timestamps and update it with this current code. Okay, we're going to provide the code. Let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. So now we're going to wait for our response. I'm going to be looking at the logs here on the side and making sure it doesn't eat up too many tokens, although that's probably not going to happen. Anyways, so right now it's loading and it might take a little bit because this thing makes a lot of calls and eats up a lot of tokens. Unfortunately, I'm already seeing some rate limiting being reached. So let's just give it a little moment. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so it looks like it has successfully updated our skill, which is beautiful. Claudebot is just so dang smart. Holy moly, this thing is amazing, man. Look how smart it is, man. It's just such a beautiful creation, man. So now I'll be with you guys right in 1 second. Let me just check something real quick. I just want to make sure my audio levels are good. Okay, cool. My audio seems good. So, so now let's take a look at our newest skill that we have just created. Just give me one moment. Okay, so in our initial try, our skill was just creating our skill was just generating timestamps, okay? But now we have added the functionality um of also generating video description. So now we have the full video description and the timestamps. All right, and now we're gonna give it a test. So let's just read this real quick. So I have successfully updated the YouTube timestamp skill. I got to rename that with your new code. The skill now generates both SEO optimized timestamps and a full SEO video description in a single run. Okay, and here it tells us what's new. You get this too. Oh, and it also threw in hashtags. Wonderful. And now we have the script now uses a secondary prompt specifically designed to craft high converting YouTube descriptions. Really good. Okay. I validated and repackaged the skill. How to use it. The output will now automatically include. Okay, awesome. And we might have to modify it so it can be a clean output that we can just automatically paste into our YouTube videos. Again, I'm going to be attempting to completely automate the YouTube video description portion of it. So we don't even have to copy and paste. But as of right now, if I want to use this, I'm going to have to copy and paste the video description that it generates and then add that to my YouTube video manually. But I do believe there's an API that allows you to automate. So let's give it a try later. As of right now, let's test this out. I'm going to be using the same video I used earlier. Okay, so let's use this same prompt right here. Let's give this a little copy. And now I'm going to prompt. Wait, can you guys see? I think I got to lower my screen. I don't think you guys can see all of my screen. Give me a second. I think we can lower this a little bit. That's weird. I'm not sure why I can't see the. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I believe you guys can see my screen more clearly. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste it here. And I'm gonna be, that's weird. Anyways, and now I'm gonna be testing this skill. So let's do that. I have the logs open to the side. So let's see when it calls the skill. So right now it's currently loading. I'm hitting these API rate limits, which is not a good thing because I'm a cheapskate and I don't like to spend money. But let's see. Right now, if you're just tuning in, I'm currently testing the skill that I have created. So right now the Clawdbot is loading and I have my logs off to the side so I can see what's going on behind the screen, behind the scenes, and it's doing a lot of tool calls, which is very unfortunate because I have very limited tokens. Okay, it's taking a little long, but that's okay. There's also the off chance that that the API, I'm using an API to get the timestamps based on the link. So there's a chance that we get banned using that. The API also rate limits us, but let's hope it doesn't. So it's still loading. It's taking quite a bit. So maybe something is going wrong, but this will be a really good opportunity for us to debug and to fix it. I'm not really sure why it's making so many calls right now, but whatever. Let's be patient. Let's be patient. We gotta be patient and wait for it to respond. Come on, buddy. Don't be lazy. Respond whenever you can, please. Please respond. Please respond. Please respond. Please respond. Well, please respond. Please respond. Please respond. Please respond. There's a chance it might have broken, so I'm going to be checking the logs in a second, giving it a try. And if it doesn't work, then we're going to have to give it another go, give it a little nudge. Sometimes I've noticed that Claudebot will kind of freeze up and you're going to have to tell it, hey, where's my answer? I asked you a question, so might have to do that now. But give me 1 second. Let's give it a second and see if this is going to work or not. All right, it doesn't seem like it's working, so let's go ahead and diagnose this as quick as possible and get this going. Let's look at the logs real quick. Let's see, the last update was sent at 10:15. All right, so let's go ahead and just, if you do one of these, it'll usually help it, but we'll see. Okay, see, so now we can see that it successfully worked. Something is going on here. Let me see. Okay, so let's see what was said. It says, but the output was split across multiple execution sessions. Here are the complete. Okay, so we don't want it set up like this because this is just giving us extra work. So let me see. So this looks good. Let me make sure. The timestamp portion, pretty confident should be good. So we'll just leave it like that. Actually, let's just make sure. Okay, that does not look good actually. Okay, anyways, it's okay. Well, this is still work in progress, so we'll continue to make modifications as we need to. But this was what ultimately was outputted. We don't want this. We don't want these two headings. It's kind of annoying. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, yep, this looks pretty good. Overall, this is pretty good. I just don't like these two headings, so let's go ahead and modify that. Let's go ahead and modify our script to fix that for us. Okay, let's say something along the lines of, I don't want, I want the final output to be clean. Don't write extra headings such as, yeah, we don't want this because it's just gonna look kind of weird. Leave everything else the same. Okay, let's give that a try and hopefully it will give us a cleaner working version. Okay, so I'll just remove that. It's still loading. Okay, so it looks like it finished. So now let's tell Claudebot to update this once again. All right, let's go ahead and copy that. Let's tell Claudebot once again, I want you to update. And we can also do this manually. I'm going to show you guys how to update the skill manually, because I am eating up a lot of my tokens right now, and I am a token cheapskate, as they say. So this is the last time I'm going to ask Claudebot to update the skill. The timestamp skill for me using this code. So we're telling Claudebot to update the timestamp skill, and we're giving it the code, the new code that we wanted to use. So let's go ahead and hope this works. I may or may not run out of timestamps, out of tokens. And if I do, I'm gonna have to fix that. So hopefully I don't. But this thing likes to eat up a lot of tokens, so I wouldn't be surprised. Also, for the timestamps, I am using Gemini 2.5 Flash, which is one of the lower quality models. So another improvement I can make is using a better model. But let's wait for a little bit and see what happens. It's gonna take a little bit. This thing is making so many calls right now. It's so annoying. Okay, see, so now we can see here that this has been removed, right? Because that's annoying. We definitely don't want this in our actual YouTube description, because that would just look straight weird. Okay, now let's go ahead and do a test again using our let's use the same example, or let's switch it up. Oops, I don't want to do that. Let's switch it up so we can see some diversity. We're gonna go here, we're gonna go here. Let's do this video, why not? Copy link, go here. Okay, awesome. So now we're gonna generate timestamps. Okay, we also gotta change that, because this is no longer just timestamps. It's for a whole video description, but we'll do that as we go along. Now this may or may not get stuck again, because I know Claudebot likes to get stuck sometimes. So just bear with me and be patient. Okay, so we can see here. It still gave us this. Why did it give us this again? Okay. Okay. What is an AI agent? AI agent, AI agent. Looking flight demo. Looks good. This looks good. Yeah, I mean, the actual content looks really good. Only issue is that it's doing these headings, which I already removed from the script. So we're gonna have to diagnose. It even says here it's been removed. All right, so let's take a look at the script. So again, let's go back to our Visual Studio Code, and we'll give it a looky here and see why it's still outputting these annoying headings. So let me go to Visual Studio Code real quick and make sure I change screens. Okay, excellent. Okay. Remove this just a little bit. Okay. Was this properly changed is my question. Okay, so we have create SEO, formatted transcript. Okay, that's our transcript. And then we have build the SEO description. Extract the real topic. Okay, let's trying to think how we can improve this. Maybe we can not sure. Let me try to think. You know what, let's go ahead and ask Claude to help us out, because I'm not too sure why this is getting stuck like that. Why it's still outputting that, but I don't like it. Thinking if we can generate, if we can change our models and use one of the 3 series models, but I'd rather not right now, honestly. We'll just keep it at that. Okay, all right, let me, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's ask Claude. So let me go back to Google Chrome. Let me just change my screens. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and hear that video. I'm trying to understand which part is giving me this, because I also don't want this. I think this is Clawdbot that's giving me this, and it might be Claudebot that's also giving me this part. Let me see. Let's go ahead and ask Claude. Not Claudebot, but Claude. Still, this is being outputted. I don't want the extra first sentence as well as the SEO headings. How can I change my code to incorporate this? Okay, so we have that, and then we have, here is my current code, and let's go ahead and copy and paste our code. Go to Visual Studio. Okay, and now let's go ahead and do that. This might just be Claudebot, and it might not actually be the script itself. In which case, if it is Claudebot, I'm not sure how to fix that, but let's see if we can fix it like this. Hopefully we can. Oh yeah. Okay, only output this, do not include, only output. Okay, cool. Hopefully that addition should help. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code. I'm gonna manually copy and paste the code, and then I think Claudebot should auto detect that change. So let's go ahead and see if that's the case. Okay, so we're here. I'm gonna paste this. Make sure you save. All right, now let's go back to our Telegram. Let's test the app now. And we'll use the same example. So hopefully it gives us what we want this time. So we're just telling Claudebot to use the skill, which is, this is how it uses it. It gave us an example on how to use the skill, and this is the formatting it wants us to use. So let's go ahead and use it like that. And now we wait. Again, hopefully I don't run out of tokens, because that's a real possibility. Okay, so it's still giving this, and I'm under the suspicion that it didn't even run the skill, it just used what it already had. I can't tell. Goal delegation. Yeah, I think it just used what it already had. This is a bit of a dilemma now. Okay, now we gotta think. All right, so a good way, I can show you guys this. A good way to debug Claudebot with code is by giving the LLM that you're gonna choose. For debugging, I like to use DeepSeek because, like I previously mentioned, it has the web search functionality, but you can feed it the Claudebot documentation, and this gives the LLM more context on how to actually debug Claudebot. So let's go ahead and give that a try. Let me open this up and see. Okay, so I'm gonna let me go ahead and show. Go ahead and show this. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the documentation and I'm gonna say using OpenClaw to create a skill that will generate YouTube video description and timestamps based on the YouTube video link provided. Okay, I'm having an issue where, let's do this. Let's input the documentation. Let's leave it there. Let me use this. Issue where the final output is outputting extra words that I don't want to be part of my final output. How can I fix this? Okay, and then let's give it an example. This is the final output that was provided by OpenClaw. And then let's put it in here, add some space, and let's give that a go. Hopefully it won't break, even though I think it will. So yeah, I'm not sure why it's breaking, but let's give it a go. Okay, all right, so it's telling us to take a look at the skill Markdown. So that's actually a really good idea. Let me open up the Markdown and then I'll show you guys how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this is the current Markdown, okay? I'm just giving it a lookie, but it looks like the skill is pretty accurate. It's saying it generates SEO, optimized YouTube timestamps, and a full video description from a video transcript using a Gemini model. Input a YouTube URL to receive formatted timestamps, a video description, and timestamps. Okay, that looks good. So why is it? Okay, let me see if I can add to this skill Markdown, and we can tell it specifically to not add any extra stuff because we don't want it. I want you to specify in this skill that I only want the requested final output, nothing else. And then we'll give it this and specify this, keep everything else the same, including formatting. Okay. Hopefully that works. If not, then we're gonna have to try another solution. Okay, so let's see. So I think it only added the final line, if I'm not mistaken. Return only the final generated timestamps in the description, do not include. Okay, so I think that should help us out. Let me copy and paste this back to our skill. Okay, pasted it. I'm gonna save it, and now let's give it a try. Let's use another video example for this. Let's use my best performing video. Okay, let's say generate timestamps for this video. Alrighty. And now let's hope for the best, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's not answer that right now. Okay, so it's still thinking off to the side, so let's hope that we're not eating too many of our tokens. Okay, excellent. So now let's hope for the best. And it's still giving this, man. What the heck? See, this is what we don't want. So I'm guessing that this has to be part of Claudebot's output and not actually part of the skill output, which is a problem. So let's take a look and see. What time is it? Let me make sure I'm not going on for too long. It's been 80 minutes, which is an hour and 20. Okay, we can keep going. Okay, so now we have okay, so another thing we can do is we can run the skill locally and see what's being outputted from there. So I like that idea. I think we can do that. But we'll have to do it next time because it's getting late and I work tomorrow. So I'm just gonna recap and summarize what we've gone over. So in this video, I've shown you how you can access your Claudebot skills from your Finder. I told you guys what a skill is. I've told you guys how and why to use skills. And in this video, in this live stream, we created a skill from scratch and we're modifying it and improving it. And hopefully we can get it to create, um, we can get it to generate timestamps, a full YouTube video description where you're just giving it a YouTube video link and then it's generating the video description and timestamps based on the timestamped transcript, which are two different things. The timestamps that are being generated and the timestamped transcription is two different things. So don't get confused with that. But also, I'm going to see if I try tomorrow to add the functionality, which is basically I want to see if I can add tomorrow the functionality where we can automate the whole process. So we don't even have to manually copy and paste because as of right now, I'm going to have to copy and paste, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to try to investigate and see if we can use the YouTube API to automatically um, automate the video description portion of it. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please tune in tomorrow or whenever I live stream next. I'm gonna try to live stream every single day because either way, I'm learning this stuff on my own, right? So I might as well just live stream the process of it. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible.